is that commitment to building popular power. It is that commitment to the people. It is that understanding that we have to build a multinational movement here in this country based on the needs and the aspirations of working people that I've joined this effort. It is that commitment that I stand here proudly and say to all of you, it is my honor to accept the nomination for the Vice Presidency of the United States from the Green Party. A ticket is a ticket that understands we're going to struggle. It is a ticket committed to popular power. It is a campaign that says no lies. We don't lie to the people. It's a campaign that says no compromise, no retreat, and no fear. Brothers and sisters, we're not in a position to determine the historical conditions that we are born in. But we can determine how we respond to those conditions. And for us, for many of us, we have determined that we are going to fight. So I stand here before you to tell you that the Stein-Baraka campaign, we are committed to fight. We are committed to fight not just for you, but with you. We understand that it is a collective process. We understand that all we have to keep us back is ourselves. So I pledge to you, my brothers and sisters, that we're going to do all that we can to advance this movement. We're going to give it everything that we have. As our dear sister and leader says, it is in fact in our hands. Let's make history. Thank you. Now, my friends, it is indeed my honor, my pleasure, to bring before you someone who really needs no introduction. Someone who has been a freedom fighter all her life. Someone who I've seen work night and day for all of us. Someone whose dedication is something to be admired. I've been on this adventure for just a couple of days, and I have even more respect for Dr. Stein now. So, with no more delay, please, my friends, brothers and sisters, join me in bringing out and showing our love for the next President of the United States, Dr. Jill Stein.
looks like, and we are what political revolution looks like. And thank every one of you. Thank you, Ajamu, for that incredible inspiration. Thank you to every one of you for being here and leading the charge for an America and a world that works for all of us. And I want to agree with everything that Ajamu said and everything that Sherry said and agree with all of their thank yous. I want to reiterate them and just add to that a big thank you to Lynn Serpy, who's been running the show. And a big thank you to Tama Yeager and to Hillary Kane and to the Harris County Green Party for making this amazing convention possible. I'm honored beyond words to be your candidate, and I'm so honored to be running for President of the United States with the Green Party, the only party of, by, and for the people. That is what we are. We have been ahead of the curve in so many ways, on climate change, on green energy, on demilitarization, on marriage equality, on free public higher education and canceling student debt, on stopping the Trans-Pacific Partnership, on ending the war on drugs and the incarceration state, on providing reparations for slavery, on opposing war crimes committed by Saudi Arabia in Yemen, and war crimes and occupation committed by the Israeli government in Gaza. And so much more. We have been ahead of the curve for decades, and all of a sudden that curve is catching up to us big time. I want to again recognize the heroes who have kept the party going through thick and thin. So again, stand up if you are part of a state, local, or national Green Party organization, and a big thank you to you. Thank you. It is such an honor to be also running in alliance with the Bernie Sanders movement. Bernie Green, we are Bernie Green together. We such a debt of gratitude for lifting up this revolution that has been smoldering for decades. You broke through the media blackout. You lifted us up, and you refused to be shut down by the DNC. It's an honor, again, to be running alongside of Ajamu Baraka, a powerhouse of human rights, who has a lifetime of dedication and his powerful voice. And I have to thank Cornell West, who has been an It's such an honor to have him in one of our 2 first commercials, speaking to the world. I don't know if people have seen him yet, but he made such a powerful speech, which is out there now on the TV. And when I walked to the airport, when I arrived and walked up to the curbside check-in, and I gave to the brothers who were manning the curbside check-in, I gave them my ID card, and they said to me, "Are you the Jill Stein?" So thank you, brother. I am so inspired to have religion on this campaign. And I also am so honored to run along with the inspired state and local candidates who are also running for office and bringing our message of people freedom. Please stand. Stand if you are running for office so we can thank you and recognize you for carrying the fight into our communities. We are in this together. Thank you so much. And I just want to recognize that things have been forever changed. On the day that Bernie Sanders endorsed Hillary Clinton, the floodgates opened in our campaign. To more volunteers, more ballot access drivers, more funding. We are a different campaign than we have ever been in history for having joined forces with you. It is such an honor to be your candidate in this historic moment of unprecedented crisis and unstoppable momentum for transformational change. We have not only an historic opportunity, we have a historic responsibility to be the agents of that transformational change. As Martin Luther King said, the arc of the moral universe is long, but it bends towards justice. I know that arc is bending in us and through us right now. We are the actors in something that is much bigger than us as we struggle for justice, peace, community, and healing together. Is moving through us as we mobilize to ensure that every Black life matters and we end violent policing and broken windows policing. As the Frisco 5 and the Millions March New York City just achieved by moving out the leadership of their police departments that had overseen broken windows policing. They are turning the tide in this crisis of racist policing. That arc of justice is moving through us as we sit in and as we lock down to stop fracking pipelines and fossil fuel bomb trains and coal and LNG export terminals and all manner of poisonous fossil fuel and nuclear infrastructure. That arc of justice was moving through us in Philadelphia like I have never seen. In the city of brotherly love, it was overrun by love in the streets, even inside of the DNC, as the Sanders campaign broke away from that corrupt and backstabbing DNC. And the Bernie urged our campaigns in rally after rally, growing stronger by the hour. The power of this movement was clear, especially during our power rally at FDR Park. Who was there? Because it was not only us, and it was a sea of people as far as my eye could see, when nature erupted in thunder and lightning to say there is a big change coming. And as the heavens opened up and it poured down around us, we sought shelter because we were there inside of this little lightning rod of a tent out in the middle of this park, and the police said, hurry up, go underneath that underpass. So we just moved the rally, and we continued under the underpass with the lightning and the thunder and the rain because we cannot be stopped. So here we are in this movement for justice and democracy that is sweeping the planet. From living wage campaigns to our fossil fuel blockades and the fight to end mass incarceration and to cancel student debt and to restore the rights of immigrants and indigenous people and LGBTQ and women and disability rights. Across the globe, we are part of a movement that is rising up like we have not seen for generations because we are facing an unprecedented crisis that demands transformational solutions and a new way forward based on democracy, justice, and human rights, and that will not come from corporate political parties funded by predatory banks, war profiteers, and fossil fuel giants. Because as Frederick Douglass said, power concedes nothing without a demand. It never has, it never will. We will be that demand. As John was saying, we're told it's a recovery, but in fact it is still an emergency. Those good jobs we lost have been replaced by part-time, low-wage, temporary, insecure jobs. A generation of young people is locked into predatory student loan debt. Black lives are on the firing line. Immigrants face mass deportation. Wars for oil are blowing back at us with a vengeance. And the climate meltdown threatens civilization as we know it in our lifetime. While the super rich party on, richer than ever, and the political elite that serve them are making things not better, but worse as they inflict austerity on everyday people, while they squander trillions of our dollars on Wall Street bailouts, on tax favors for the wealthy, and on wars that know no end. So we are in revolt. And the good news they don't want you to know is that we actually have the power to turn this around the minute we stand up with the courage of our convictions. Because we not only have the vision and the values of the American people that we reflect and that we lift up, but because we actually have the numbers to win the day. As you may know, there are 42 million young people and not so young people who are locked into predatory student loan debt. That is a winning plurality be victims of that abuse, a generation of young people. We have the power. Don't let them tell you for a minute that we don't. Just go talk to a millennial who's in debt and let them know. And let them let each other know, because they are the self-mobilizing demographic if there ever was one. We also have the power to fix the other things that ail us. And by the way, ending student debt, canceling it, is our way forward. This is the gateway issue. Because who is it that actually leads the way forward on transformational change? Whether it's the immigrant rights movement, whether it is the Black Lives Matter, or the climate justice movement, or the peace movement, or the women's, or the LGBTQ movement. It has always been the younger generation that leads us forward. We need to liberate the younger generation. Which, by the way, is my first priority when we turn the White House into a green house. My first priority is to liberate that generation who can then take us forward. Are fighting for justice. That means an emergency jobs program that will also solve the emergency of climate change. A Green New Deal that will create 20 million jobs. That will create 100% clean renewable energy by 2030. As a human right through a Medicare for all system. We will make public higher education free. It pays for itself. We have news for the bean counters. For every dollar of taxpayer money we put into public higher education, we get back $7 in return. This doesn't cost us, this benefits us. We support the disabled members of our community to ensure that they have full support, the treatments they need, the housing, the health care, and the jobs to enable them to be fully contributing members of our society and to respect their dignity. We will revive public education and fully fund it, and ensure that our young people come to school ready to learn. That means healthy. That means nourished with healthy food, not in food deserts. And that means free from poverty, the biggest obstacle to education exists. And we will end high-stakes testing, which is an obstruction to education, particularly for challenged learners, and we will put an end to the school-to-prison pipeline. And we will end the closing of schools because they are poor, or because they are Latino, or in communities of color. We will support those schools, not shut them down. We will fund them. We will provide them with the real tools of education that they deserve. That is small classroom sizes. This is not rocket science about how to educate kids. We will provide them with enriched curriculum. That means music and arts and recreation and community engagement. We will do for our kids what the advocates and education reform are doing for their kids. A couple other quick mentions because we're almost out of time. We will create a welcoming path to citizenship for our immigrant residents who are moving away from the sustainable and prosperous communities. We are all if we are not popular in this leadership or the American detentions, and the night raids, which are a national scandal. While the Republicans have become the party of hate and fear-mongering, the Democrats are the party of deportation, detention, and night raids. We are the alternative. Crisis is to stop causing it in the first place. We say to Donald Trump, we don't need no friggin' wall, we just gotta stop invading other countries. Violence and brutality, not only in policing, but in our courts and in our prisons and in the economy at large. And we can start by ensuring that every community has a police review board so communities can train their police. And we will ensure that every community has access to cases of death in the custody of police are investigated. Not just the people that special comes up from Washington Department of Justice. And we call for a Truth and Reconciliation Commission so we can get to the bottom of this crisis of racism and to provide reparations to acknowledge the enormous debt owed to the African American community for the unimaginable price which has been a catastrophic failure. $6 trillion comes an average of $75,000 per American household for wars that have not made us safer, that have only increased the terrorist threat, that have created failed states, and have created mass refugee migrations that are tearing apart the Middle East and Europe. We say no to those wars. We call for a new. It's just unthinkable that they want to do more of this same catastrophically failed policy, and that's why we need to be on the debate stage. For the Middle East. It's called a peace offensive. It starts with a weapons embargo, since we are providing the majority of weapons to all combatants and see all sides. We can also shut down the flow of funding, which is coming largely from our allies, who have been partners with us in this, what shall we say, schizophrenic war on terror. Because with one hand, starting back in Afghanistan, where we and the Saudis created this great idea of the global terrorist enterprise that was created in order to help the Mujahideen fight against the Soviet Union. Well, this has come back to bite us in a very big way. And it's time to shut the whole enterprise down. Because with one hand, we and our allies are fighting it, but with another hand, we and our allies have been funding it, training it, and arming it. According to even Hillary Clinton herself, whose leaked memos from the State Department revealed that in Hillary Clinton's estimation, the Saudis are still the major funder of Sunni jihad forces around the world. We started this, we can shut it down. That is our answer to ISIS and to terrorism. Right now, a whirlwind that is way bigger than any of us. We have a job to do. We have a role to play that will not be played by anybody but us. We are the ones we've been waiting for. When they tell us to, get out of the way because we're standing in the way of the lesser evil, the answer to that is that this politics of fear, which we've been told to bow down to, has only delivered everything we were afraid of. We were told to vote for the lesser evil because we didn't want the offshoring of our jobs, the meltdown of the climate, the massive bailouts for Wall Street, the expanding prison state, the attack on our civil liberties and on immigrant rights. All those things we didn't want is exactly what we got by allowing ourselves to be silent and letting a lesser evil speak for us. Remember, when they try to tell you you are powerless, remember what Alice Walker says. The biggest way people give up power is by not knowing we have it to start with. We are going to use election, we are deciding whether we will have a world or not going forward into the future. The day of reckoning is coming closer and closer. On climate change, we are told that there will be a civilization-ending development in the form of massive sea level rise as soon as 2050. Anybody plan to be here in 2050? I think a few of us do, myself included. So we cannot wait, because we have to act now if we want to stop that sea level rise from happening in 2050. We need to declare a state anti-ballistic missile treaty framework for nuclear disarmament, and then Barack Obama, who created a $1 trillion budget for us to spend on a new generation of nuclear weapons and modes of delivery. So on the count of climate, on the count of nuclear weapons, and this insane nuclear arms race that we're into, and on account of these endless and expanding wars that are blowing back at us all around the world. We cannot afford to sit this one out. The lesser evil is a losing strategy because people stop coming out to vote. Is about the rise of right-wing extremism, not only in this country, but in Europe. And as Bernie Sanders himself so often said, the only solution to the likes of Donald Trump is a truly radical, progressive agenda that restores our needs and ends the economic misery that promotes the kinds of demagogues we are seeing in Donald Trump. We are the ones we've been waiting for. She is not the solution to Donald Trump. We are the ones we've been waiting for. This is our moment. Together we do have the power to create an America and a world that works for all of us. The power to create that world is not just in our hopes, it's not just in our dreams, right here and now, it's in our hands. We will make this happen together. We are unstoppable. Thank you so selfie. I think they might be on their way.
Probably in about 10 to 15 minutes.
All right, well, while we're waiting to see if that's going to happen, we have a couple of announcements that we have to make.
2:24 for the press conference, probably about 10 to 15 minutes.
Before we close this.
2:24 for the press
So first
conference.
off, some next steps.
About 10 to 15
At 4 o'clock this afternoon, which is coming up very shortly. Okay.
4:31.
So like right now.
Get to the time machine.
As soon as this adjourns, on the second floor of the lobby. Bernier Bust and Greens are all invited to a meeting hosted by Yane and Nogo to talk about next steps and how we hit the ground running from here. So that's second floor lobby right after this. Also, Dr. Stein and Mr. Baraka are going to be heading to a press conference, so any press that's in the room, that's in room 224. You can join them there. Tonight at 7 o'clock is the Party for the Revolution. And if you need an airport drop-off tomorrow, go to the multi-purpose room and sign up. Don't forget that there is merchandise there as well. And if you, voting goes for the National Steering Committee until 5 p.m., so if you haven't voted for National Steering Committee, do that at the table, on the credentialing table.
Yeah, and definitely, well, we have everybody still in the room right now. There's a couple of things. It's business related. So it's post-nomination work that we have to do. So if you have any ballot access documents that need to be signed and notarized, drop them off with John Andrews. John Andrews, can you please stand up? It's John Andrews over there. So you can leave them with him, or leave them in a drop-off envelope at the Stein table in the multi-purpose room in 237. Also, we'll get them signed and notarized. You can pick them up on Sunday morning. If you want to have them mailed back to you, provide your address on a sheet of paper and drop them off.
Not done quite yet.
Not done yet. It's important stuff.